Something very sad that happens out there for a lot of guys is that they see women that they're attracted to, but are scared of having one of those women as a girlfriend. The guy is scared of getting with a woman he will truly love and want to be with. According to psychology, this term is called philophobia, and it's essentially a fear of falling in love. But it can also be a fear of getting into a relationship, or a fear that you might not be able to maintain a relationship. So I'm going to get a little bit deep here, and then I'll bring it back to a more surface level point, right? So you'll understand why. Essentially, the way that our life works in this universe is that there's always an opportunity to level up or become stronger. Now, that happens way down at the level of microbiology when we think about the immune system and it encounters things and then becomes stronger and is able to handle those things. And then an even bigger example of, say, the Earth and the Sun, and what scientists have said will allegedly happen, which is that the sun will stop burning after billions of years and we'll have no sun. The Earth will freeze up. Yet, just like down at the immune system level, the immune system can become stronger and level up and be able to handle itself in a certain situation. At that bigger level, we humans and the technology that we create, AI, have an opportunity to level up. We can use AI and nanotechnology to make the sun burn indefinitely, right? We have an opportunity to level up. We don't just have to wait until the sun burns out and then we freeze up and it's all over. That's one way it could go, but there's also another way where it can go where we level up, we become stronger, we become wiser, and we take control of the situation. This is a universal principle that not only applies to your life with women, but to your life in general. It's where you are challenged and then have an opportunity to level up and become stronger, wiser, and more capable. For example, if someone abandons you, that gives you an opportunity to become stronger and be able to stand on your own 2 feet and not need that other person to make yourself feel safe and okay in this world. If there is something that you fear, then you have an opportunity to become more courageous and overcome your fear. There's so many examples of that I could give you, but hopefully you get the point that in life you are presented with things and you can either become weak as a result of it or you can level up and become stronger. And if a guy has a fear of getting a girlfriend because he's worried about getting rejected, getting dumped, or he's worried about getting involved and then having to deal with all the complications of a bad relationship if he gets into a bad relationship, or he might get further involved with her and then he has to go through a divorce and so on, then he can hold on to that fear if he wants to. But he's going to suffer the consequences of that, right? He's going to feel lonely at times. He's going to feel left out at times. He may look on at other couples and think, why don't I have that? What's wrong with me? Why can't I get that sort of thing? Now, the thing is, not all guys who remain single are lonely and desperate and sad and so forth. Some guys who remain single have sex with lots of women and they love that sort of lifestyle, and that's fine. Yet the guys who remain single because they're afraid aren't usually getting what they want, right? Some guys will still be having sex with women, but it won't be with the types of women they really want. When they meet a woman that they really like, they either don't know how to attract her or they don't follow through because they're afraid that if they follow through, they're going to really like this girl. And if she rejects them or dumps them, he's going to be heartbroken, he's going to be in pain, and it's going to be a very difficult time for him. So another thing about this life is that if you want to be truly proud of yourself and have that feeling of contentment and happiness, you're not going to get that from hiding from what you're afraid of and what you want. You're never going to get that. You'll never be able to cover it up with other things, right? Doing better in your career, getting a better body, hanging out with more friends, playing more video games, watching more TV shows, and so on. It's never going to cover up the fact that you want a beautiful woman who loves you, right? You want to have that feeling of closeness. You want to have that in your life. If that's something you want deep down, nothing that you ever do will be able to replace that. So you've got to remember how this life works, how things operate in this universe, and that is that you are presented with challenges that are either going to weaken you or strengthen you. And the challenge of women is quite a big challenge for some guys. because they're nervous around a woman that they really like, or they don't know what to say, or they don't know how to make her feel attracted and then move in for a kiss. That's a big challenge for some guys. Yet, if the guy doesn't actually level up and figure out how to do that, where is he going to be? Now, in some cases, a guy like that will get lucky and get himself a pretty girlfriend by chance. But in most cases, he won't be able to maintain the relationship because he got her by luck. Right? He didn't get her because he was truly confident and he knew how to attract women. It just happened by chance. So she then ends up losing respect and attraction for him in the relationship and leaving him. And he's back at square one, feeling like relationships with women are scary. He doesn't want to try to get involved because he could get hurt and so on. And he remains stuck at that level. Now, other guys, they end up accepting a woman that they're not even that attracted to. And they get into a relationship with her and they're never really happy with her. Right? They look at her and they think, why am I with this woman? She's not even the kind of woman that I want, but at least I've got something. And he ends up never feeling that personal pride, that contentment, that happiness, that respect for himself, where he conquered that mountain. He conquered that challenge that was holding him back. Instead, he just accepted and he just went with what he could get. It's sort of like if you ever look at a river on a map, right? A river follows the path of least resistance. It goes in all sorts of directions, goes all the way around here just to get over there. If you approach your life in the way that a river does, where you just flow with whatever is given to you and you don't ever try to say, hey, hang on, I want to go this way, then you end up going along paths that waste your time, waste your energy, and don't give you what you really want. For example, a guy had that fear of getting a girlfriend, right? He was scared of getting a girlfriend, but he said to himself, you know what? I'm going to go directly for it. I'm going to figure out what I need to do and I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to enjoy all the amazing things that come with that. I'm going to get what I want. Now, compare that to a guy who behaves more like a river and just goes with whatever is happening in life. Oh, right, I'm playing video games all the time now. And I'm spending all my weekend doing that. And oh yeah, I'm drinking a lot now. And I'm working harder and I'm going to the gym more now. And he goes all the way over there. And really what he wanted was right in front of him the whole time. Right? He wanted a beautiful girlfriend, but he was going along the path of least resistance with women. Rather than stepping up to the challenge and getting what he really wanted deep down. He could have gotten a girlfriend he really wanted and loved right away. But he went all the way over there, hoping that, you know, if he just did better in his career, if he had a better body, if he made more money, if he was living in a better place, then somehow a girl would like him and he wouldn't have to face up to his fears. Yet, as you may have noticed, even men who are, you know, good-looking celebrities don't always have very pretty girlfriends, or men who are billionaires don't always have the prettiest girlfriends in the world. You might have also noticed guys who really work hard on their physique to be in shape and look as good as they can often don't have a woman who does that too. Now, some guys do want a woman who is chubby or overweight. That's fine, but most guys don't want that. And in most cases, the guy is behaving more like a river. He's just going with the path of least resistance. Yet as a man, you need to be more like an ATV where you can just exit the river and start moving through the forest and getting to where you want to get to, right? You get over terrain that holds other guys back, holds the river guys back, right? They just go off in the path of least resistance, but you see the pretty woman over there and you say, screw this, I'm going for that. Just like other guys have done, right? They don't have a perfect gym body. The guy may be working in a casual job or a low-paying job. The guy may be shorter than her, but he still got the pretty girl, right? He went for what he wanted when it comes to women. He stepped up to the challenge that we men face when it comes to women in this life, right? You're either just going to accept whatever you can get and be like a river guy, or you're going to step up and conquer the challenge of getting the type of woman you really want. And to get that, you will have to overcome some challenges first, but I can guarantee you that you're going to feel so much more proud and respectful of yourself. You're going to feel so much happier about yourself that you actually overcame those challenges. Now, some of the challenges may be that you need to become more confident. You need to be able to handle yourself better around a woman that you find attractive, where you don't become nervous, you don't doubt yourself, you don't start acting weird because you can't be normal around a girl that you really like, but you can be totally normal around a girl that you don't like. You might also have to get a bit better at conversation. Yet at the end of the day, you become one of the rare guys who actually break through and overcome challenges and get what you want. That then replicates itself in other areas of your life, right? So the personal power and control over yourself that you have gained by being able to actively attract a woman and get the kind of woman that you want, then transfers over into other areas of your life, right? So when you are faced with any sort of challenge in life that other people balk away from or sort of try to avoid because they just want to be like a river and go along the path of least resistance, you just break through it, you overcome it, and you level up as a person. So bringing it back to being scared of getting a girlfriend or being scared to move forward with women that you really like, if you have that fear, or if you're stuck at that level in life, then you have an opportunity to level up. If you don't level up, you're going to experience the consequences of not leveling up. For some guys, that will mean that they remain alone for life. Other guys, it will mean that they accept a woman they're not even attracted to, just so they can have something. They go along the path of least resistance, like a river. And for other guys, they may get lucky and find themselves a pretty girlfriend who gives them a chance. But in most cases, the guy is not going to be able to handle that situation because he got her by chance. He wasn't actually ready for a woman like her. If you've ever been dumped by a woman that you really loved and you really wanted to be with, you will most likely understand that. You will understand that you just weren't ready for a woman like her, but maybe you are now. Right? If you met her now, you could handle it, but back then, you couldn't handle it. The same thing will repeat in your life if you get a chance with a woman that you're not ready for, right? If you're not ready for that level of confidence from a woman or that level of beauty from a woman, and you're not able to handle it and not become insecure or jealous in the relationship, then you're almost certainly going to end up in another breakup. And finally, another type of outcome for a guy will be that he has sex with new women throughout his life, but he never wants to commit. He just wants to have something short, something easy, and he doesn't want to go any further because he's afraid of what could happen after that. Now, some guys can be okay with that, but if he truly feels deep down that he wants to have that loving intimacy with a woman, he wants to have experiences with her, and he wants to be able to stay in a relationship with a woman that he really loves, then avoiding that, avoiding becoming stronger, avoiding leveling up and being able to handle that, be able to face that, is just going to lead to him feeling loneliness, depression, and him not being able to truly respect himself, not being able to be truly happy with who he is, not be able to be proud of who he is. He's going to feel that shame, that regret, that bitterness, that anxiety, the stress deep down. Now, another thing about having a girlfriend and going through a breakup is that if you really think about it, it's not the end of the world. Remember what I was saying before, that if you fear something, then it's an opportunity for you to become stronger and more courageous and be able to overcome that fear. Likewise, if you get yourself a girlfriend and you really love her, but she then breaks up with you, you then have an opportunity to either level up your ability to make women feel attracted to you so you can interact with her and make her feel more attracted to you than she felt before, and therefore make her feel like she wants to give you another chance. Or you can use that experience to level up and say, hey, I don't actually need any one particular woman. I can feel confident, I can feel happy, I can feel content with or without her, right? I can have another woman if I want to, or I can be single for a while and feel totally happy and content within myself because I don't actually need her. You're not someone who needs to have her love you in order to feel good about yourself, to feel like you're worthy. You feel good about yourself and you feel worthy regardless of whether a woman is showing you love or not. So hopefully you can see that there's always an opportunity to level up and become stronger. Likewise, there's always an opportunity to level down, become weaker when you're faced with a challenge in life. It really depends on how you approach life. So if you have a fear of getting a girlfriend, if you're scared of getting a girlfriend, just know that you are in control now. You're going to decide whether or not you're going to level up and become stronger and be able to attract women and get yourself a girlfriend and feel totally fine with that. Or you may level down and become weaker and become more afraid, more confused, more anxious, more worried about the whole thing. Now, to close off this video, I want to point out that there is also another way to become more confident, more brave, more courageous, more sure of yourself when it comes to getting a girlfriend. And that is when you know how to attract women on purpose, right? When you're not a guy who has to rely on luck. Hopefully this girl can give me a chance. You enter an interaction with a woman knowing exactly what to say and do, how to behave, how to react in a way that is going to cause her to feel attracted to you. You know how to do that. When you know how to do that, you feel comfortable around women. You make them feel attracted and you see that lots of women like you, right? You're not a guy who is hungry and desperate to hopefully get one woman. You're a guy who is able to attract most of the women that you meet when you actually interact with them. If you want to learn my best ever techniques, examples, and advice on how to do that, then I recommend that you read my ebook, The Flow, or listen to the audiobook version. The Flow is the easiest way to get laid or get a girlfriend. When you use the flow techniques during an interaction with a woman, she instantly feels attracted to you and her attraction and interest increases as the interaction continues. As long as you follow the simple steps of the flow, everything flows from one step to the next. So from hello to sex and then into the start of a relationship. One final point that I want to make for you in this video is that women aren't something to be afraid of in this life. Women are a natural challenge for men. They present us with an opportunity to become stronger, to level up, to be more confident, more courageous, more brave, and so on. On that note, women are also something that can cause a guy to become more nervous, more insecure, and so on, depending on his leveled up or leveled down understanding of women and the situation. Right? If he doesn't understand why women behave in the ways that they behave, and he then feels nervous and insecure about that, then he doesn't overcome the challenge of women in life. He doesn't get it. Whereas a man who understands that women, for example, will test a guy by behaving a little bit disinterested to see if he can maintain his confidence, is a guy that will overcome that challenge. He is strong and he's able to handle that element of being around a woman. As a result, women then feel respect and attraction for him and they kiss him, have sex with him, love him, and get into relationships with him. Whereas the guy who hasn't leveled up his understanding and ability to be able to handle that element of being around a woman will have to accept nothing, an unattractive woman, or will have to wait and hope that one day he might get lucky with a woman that he finds attractive. Yet whether or not he's able to maintain a relationship with her is another story altogether. So don't be afraid to face your fears, level up and become stronger. I can tell you from experience that facing your fears, becoming stronger and leveling up results in a much better life and much better results than staying at that same level. Holding on to that fear, feeling like you can't get past that and then suffering the consequences as a result.